Hello, beautiful viewers. Thomas, author of the Cosmos. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting, captivating, stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item will I be unboxing? What item will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What item is encompassed inside this hefty, bulky, tangible box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify that answer to that inquiry and subsequently render the contents of the box transparent for you to feast your eyes on. Here we go. What else do we have in conjunction with airbags? We have an archer that's derived from the Lord of the Rings or Return of the King action figure line. This apparently is a Haradrim archer. He's fully armored and he's deemed to be an evil warrior. I possessed this figure in the past. Now I have reacquired this particular figurine. He has ample points of articulation. He was produced amid the early 2000s by Toy Biz. He likely launched in conjunction with the release of the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King movie around that time period. I love his aesthetics, I love his hues, I love his shadings, I love his textures. This figurine is just extraordinary in all facets. What are my gripes about this figurine? He likely lacks finger joint articulation. He likely lacks a diaphragm joint. He likely lacks an ankle pivot. His price is remarkably hefty. He cost me over $13 to procure. His value has just plunged. The packaging that he was relegated to has been decimated. It's too bad that Toy Biz has filed for bankruptcy. They're defunct. They have desisted from continuing their operations. Unfortunately, he's confined to his packaging still as a result of plastic bindings keeping him imprisoned in his packaging. He will be liberated. He will have the autonomy to join my other action figures on the shelves within the vicinity of my living space. Once these plastic bindings have been untangled, then I can articulate the figurine and see if he lives up to my expectations. He can be purchased on the secondhand market via eBay or Amazon.com. You have the autonomy to forgo the opportunity to buy him. Is up to you. Spend your disposable income as you see fit. Should you splurge on purchasing Lord of the Rings action figures? If you're an avid, devout Lord of the Rings fan, then you may want to consider amplifying the amount of Lord of the Rings merchandise you possess. If you detest and disdain the Lord of the Rings as a totality, then you may want to abstain from purchasing Lord of the Rings action figures. It's up to you. You need to implement decisions based on your own volition. Personally, I relish this figurine. He is a paradigm of resounding perfection. He is the epitome of perfection. He's the embodiment of perfection. He's just a novel, unique, unusual, extraordinary figurine that I can add to my prodigious action figure collection. He coincides eminently with a 6-inch action figure line. I love his attire. He can wield various weapons. If you have seen the Lord of the Rings movies, then you're likely well acclimated with this character. He's a generic Haradrim archer. You can meticulously analyze his lore. To learn why he is evil. Is he sadistic? Is he malicious? Is he coercive? Most likely. He has finally fully been liberated from his packaging. He can now be consigned to a shelf. He can wield a bow and arrows if you remove them from their quiver. Unfortunately, he cannot clench his bow tightly. Those are the ramifications of lacking finger joint articulation. If I lacked finger joint articulation, I wouldn't be able to grip anything either. The sword cannot be clenched by this figurine. What a disappointment. The lack of finger joint articulation is a major gripe. His fingers are spread. Oh, actually, he does have finger joint articulation. I didn't notice it. My vision is abysmal. This is fantastic. He can now utilize his bow and arrow. He can flex his fingers. It's not a wise idea to tamper with his joints. You really don't want them to become loose. You do not want to compromise their integrity. You want them to remain sturdy. Alrighty. He's able to grip his sword. Hopefully he can wield his arrow in conjunction with his sword. There we go. He seems to lack an ankle pivot. He has a hinge in his toes and can be ascended or descended. That's a novelty. As I expected, he lacks a diaphragm joint. He seems to lack a disc joint in his head. His articulation is obstructed by his attire mounted to his shoulder. It's arduous for him to grip his sword. His finger joints are flimsy. Are his knees double jointed? They appear to be. That's a novelty. His skirt is comprised of rubber. There does not appear to be a ratchet in his legs. His arms are likely confined to a ball joint. I have no major gripes about this figurine. His seam lines don't really bother me. What else? Beyond the aforementioned, I really don't have too much more to say. I love how spikes are protruding out of his rubber. Piece of attire. What is this supposed to represent? I'm unsure. It is an enigma. I have never seen anything like it before. It has spikes protruding out of it, which is a novelty. He's not marred with scratches. He's practically unscathed. He's in pristine condition. He has yet to succumb to being ravaged. He's a high quality figurine. I have no qualms about buying him. If he commanded a lower price, then I would purchase more to build an army of them. How many more? I likely would procure at least 5 more of him if they were sold for $10 or less, if I had the monetary means to do so. At the moment, he's unaffordable for $13 or more, so I'll abstain from buying him until its price plunges. If it doesn't, then I'll likely never add another Haradrim archer to my collection. Do I recommend purchasing Haradrim archers? If you can afford to do so, then you may want to purchase them before they further appreciate in value and before their prices further amplify. He is a remarkable, extraordinary, phenomenal, fantastic, anomaly. He is one of a kind. You can purchase a plethora of these figurines. They are homogeneous to one another. But when you contrast him to all the figurines, you will see that he is one of a kind, because there's no other action figures that are akin to him. I mean, compare him to Triceraton Warrior. Do they contrast well with one another? Not really. Compare him to a DBZ figure. Do they contrast well with one another? No. So, he's disparate from other figures. And because he's disparate from other figures, he's worth buying. He's not another generic clone trooper churned out by Hasbro. He was produced by Toy Biz amid the golden age of action figure collecting, the early 2000s, when action figures were affordable and when they had finger joint articulation. Today, they're rendered unaffordable and lack finger joint articulation, despite commanding nearly triple the price that they commanded amid the early 2000s. So the standards in the action figure industry have exacerbated, which is bad news for collectors. However, if you purchase retro figurines, then you get to experience divine, stellar, prodigious, visually appealing, extraordinary figurines today in 2015, since you can buy them via eBay or Amazon, even if they are exorbitantly priced. But hopefully they will depreciate in value post 3D printers becoming mainstream. Until then, I'll just have to relish what I have and hope that they can become affordable one day, because today they unfortunately are not. This destiny has befallen upon the collector. An action figure priced at $8 amid being released in the retail stores in the early 2000s likely sells on eBay for over $20, depending on what action figure line he's derived from. That's if you purchase him used. If you procure him new, his value has likely increased by at least fourfold. So these action figures are unaffordable. That's all I wanted to notify you of. I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and enthralling. If you have the monetary means to do so, then consider purchasing this action figure. I hope that you found this video to be informative. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.